And so what I like to call is like, I look at my life as like this big directional pull. Meaning I don't know if this direction is like perfect, but I'm gonna freaking go at it hard. If I'm coming at it with high energy, coming at it with positive intention, coming at it with skill set development, and the person I'm becoming is a better person than I was a week ago, there's no way this wave behind me that I'm pulling with me can't be better.
Welcome to the Ed O'Keefe Show. Transform your mind, accelerate your business, energize your body, and inspire the world. Now here is your host, Ed O'Keefe.
Hello, it's Ed O'Keefe, and welcome to another episode of the Ed O'Keefe Show. Today we're going to go back behind the scenes of one of my most recent events where I talk about the topic of Tsunami Thinking, and the concept breaks down to looking at the structure of tsunami effective success. And as you'll see and hear in the audio, it's I came up with this when I would start studying the structure of how people would have these rapid moments of success, or what I call tsunamis of success. And the concept behind that is that they build up so much momentum underneath the surface that once their success finally comes to fruition, it's so big, so fast, so unreal that no one really knew where it was coming. But because most of the work happened underneath the surface many years and miles prior to it. So the question obviously will come to you, which is, where are you working now that if you worked slightly differently, or if you stuck with it a little bit longer, you'd be able to create your own personal tsunami of success? Again, this is behind the scenes of Time Collapsing Academy, which we have our first ever super mega conference this October, and we have the world-class experts on entrepreneurism, on achieving goals rapidly. And it doesn't matter if you're an author, podcaster, entrepreneur, solopreneur, Amazon e-commerce master, this event is for you. It's broad enough, big enough, and it'll challenge you to think much bigger than you had ever thought prior. So more on that later. You can check it out at timecollapsingacademy.com. That's timecollapsingacademy.com. And all right, I hope you enjoy this. Please comment and share it with those who it can support. All right, thanks so much.
This is what most people talk about. And what I keep thinking is like, if you want to create a tsunami, see, I think if this is what like they want you to do, is have crystal clarity on this, I think you got to do something different. I think you got to think more like tsunami-like. And what I mean by that is that you got to have the guts to go deep in the ocean. Like, say, here's the water. You got to have the guts to say, you know what, this is going to be my core thing that I'm going to go grind away at, but the ripple effects of this are not going to be like a straight line. It's going to be so overwhelming that the coincidences that I need to have happen are going to work in alignment. You know, what's that old quote that like when someone ventures out boldly, it's like George Bernard Shaw, I think, like, the dormant forces come alive. No, it's Patanjali. Dormant forces come alive. The universe seems to line up to support them. What is it? We'll look it up on your iPad real quick, all right? So when we have this, what's happening underneath here, we don't know where we're going to end up, but we got to go in this direction. Now, what I like to call it is directional pull. So, any of like you're by a lake house or whatever like that, and like if you drive up fast to the lake house and then you just like totally like go into neutral, or just, what comes behind the wakeboarding boat? A big wave. It's like a wake, right? And so what I like to call is like, I look at my life as like this big directional pull. Meaning I don't know if this direction is like perfect, but I'm going to freaking go at it hard. If I'm coming at it with high energy, coming at it with positive intention, coming at it with skill set development, and the person I'm becoming is a better person than I was a week ago, there's no way this wave behind me that I'm pulling with me can't be better and can't just totally come through here and destroy that. And not only do this, but like, what else is there, right? So that's what we're looking to create, right? So the reason we're doing these exercises, or I'm showing these videos, is to just expand the frame of reference from which you operate from. Like, that's the whole goal here. We, as technicians and tacticians, like to know, like, target market, target segment, how do I do this, how do I do that? That's where we live. But like, you missed this, Jerry. We talked about like the Jesse Itzler, man, but I was thinking about you on my way here, like #1 SEO guy in the world. Jesse Itzler went and figured out how does he sell $150,000 timeshares to the jet industry, and he's a billionaire, and we're not, right? Spanx figures out a market disrupting thing that transforms things, right? So I'd like this room to think bigger, like much bigger. One of our guys couldn't be here today because he's got a board meeting with his investors. He raised $4 million for his protein bar business, which is kind of pretty crazy. But he's got a big ass vision that none of us would relate to at all. Like, we'd be like, what are you doing? You're taking crickets and you're turning it into frickin' protein, and you're gonna disrupt the whole protein industry that way? Yeah, it's his passion. He went out and did it, right? So there is this thing I call the undertow, but we'll talk about that later because it's important as well. So what we're gonna do here is this. We're gonna take the next 30 minutes. We'll turn on some music. I want to break up into tables of 4 to 5, not 6 or 7. If you're here with a partner, I think it'd be cooler if you guys split up a little bit, just to kind of get different perspectives and stuff like that. And we're going to go to the freedom questions, right? So the freedom questions, again, I'm going to give you some a little freedom on this. No pun intended. That was kind of cheesy. First one is this. Is it present mode? If I was sitting here 1 year from now, wouldn't it be great if? Wouldn't it be great if this happened? And then, isn't it great that? And that's the formula. I'll leave this up there because that's the formula. Isn't it great that you insert it in the present moment? Isn't it great that?
Just copy yours.
Well, no, yeah, but I mean, well, no, you can't really copy. I mean, yeah, you can copy that, but I wouldn't. Isn't it great that? And then insert your goal, transformational value, or your intention in the present moment. It's already happened. The reason you do this, not to get too goal-setting oriented, is you need to orientate your brain to be in the future already having accomplished it, right? Where do you find your shoes when you've lost your shoes? Where you left them, the last place you look, right? And so what people tend to do, linear and sequentially, is they see problems in front of them where they left them, and they keep them there. So what we do by going 1 year out, 2 years out, and having the conversation of like, isn't it great that I already have the marketing team working this way? Isn't it great that my house is gluten-free and my kids are growing up healthy? Like, and they don't know any different. That's going to take time. If I said I got to do that today, I feel stressed right now, just being totally honest with you. But by going out 1 year, 2 years in the future and speaking from a present perspective, isn't it great? And then act as if it's already happened, right? Now, one other exercise, I'm going to come back to this in a second because we're not going to have time to do this today, but this is the other thing you can do. So one of my patterns, what I do, it's kind of weird, right, Jeremy? Since you're a podcasting guy. What's the name of your podcast?
Inspired Insider.
I knew that. I just wanted you to share it with the world. Inspired Insider. Jeremy interviews awesome dudes. I have a hard time sitting there writing the goals like they write in Think and Grow Rich, or like I am happily and joyfully earning blank. I am excitedly, and just insert. That doesn't really do much for me. So here's what I do. I pretend like I'm on Oprah's TV show. And her and I are talking. I'm like, well, you know, Oprah, I used to put pictures in my wall of you, and I then say, I answer all these questions. Tell me about your story. Well, I grew up in a family of 13 kids, blah, blah, blah. Tell me what you've done. How did you get there? Why did you do it that way? And then you tell the story. It seems so much more easy for me to just tell the frickin' story than to try and write goals of things that have not happened yet. What was it like standing on the podium at when's the next Olympics, Katie? 2018. What was it like being there? Is it any easier to answer that than being, I will win a gold medal at the 2000, like that? It doesn't feel as good. But here, like, wasn't it great that I grew a disruptive accounting back office company and sold it for $100 million and got out before it really got boring and arduous and had to deal with all this infrastructure?
My notes in the car. I was in an Uber car driving.
Can we give you a microphone? Because
I don't know.
you move, you talk longer than you think you're going to all the time, so.
This was my notes today on the way here. I wrote, connect people to a story that resonates, a story that people care about, and a story that will keep them telling other people. That's my notes today.
Awesome.
I love this, dude. I think if we can literally have that kind of attitude, and my little quote that I wrote for myself is this simple idea: if I can let me shine, our business will follow.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. You said something in your goals today. They're like, what was your goal? Like, why are you coming here? Do you remember what you wrote?
Yeah, I actually do. I've been thinking about it a little bit. You like that, right? Yeah, I do. It's in our conversations back and forth, right? I'm not going to share.
You wrote something like, I look forward to eliminating some things that are holding us back.
Simplicity and focus.
Okay. Yes. And so when I read that, I was like, that's so boring. I was like, I wanted to hear, like, I'm looking for the transformation thing that will allow us to accelerate fully accountable way faster than my current thinking is allowing me. You know, I wanted to hear, like, I was like, oh, you're blocked. You're thinking of like there's blockages. So that's where that's where his brain was, which is okay, because he's dealing with daily grind. So his thing is like, I got to fix this thing here. Well, 1 year from now, what happened in the last year that made all the fucking difference? Well, like, I was listening to stuff about like how these computing technology things are, and I'm looking at how he's growing fully accountable. And I texted him or something, like, dude, have you listened to any of exponential organization stuff lately? And he's like, no, why? And I'm like, because I think there might be a faster way to grow your company than the way you're currently thinking. Because if the technology is really interrupting everything we're doing manually right now, then in 5 years, it's going to completely disrupt it. So, yeah, I just was thinking of that. So, okay, cool. Enough of me talking. So here, have fun with this. I mean, I know, like, I'm asking you to kind of believe in Santa Claus for a few moments. I'm asking you to go back to my kids, like, when they lose their tooth, they're still going underneath there looking for the tooth fairy money, right? And for all you, like, boring parents who don't do that with your kids, God bless you, because we're suckers for everything. So they still think they were wondering why mom's running around the yard with like putting like yellow Easter things out there. So here's the thing. The next leap is going to be happening from that level of thinking. It's not going to be happening from your serious, like, I'm blocking and tackling today. Got to block and tackle. Well, next break, I'm going to go check my emails. I'm going to go make sure. That shit, if you really are that connected right now to your email, you need this. You really do. You really need to disconnect, you know? No disrespect to, like, your boy who was at your last event, who everybody is like posting every video that he posts out there, who's like, you gotta hustle longer, 7 p.m. to 3 a.m., work. Like, dude, you're never gonna turn that off, man. I don't know, God bless him. He knows it, and so he's totally with it. But all right, I'm done.
This episode is sponsored by Marine D3. If you want 24-hour antioxidant protection while giving your brain, eyes, heart, and overall energy a jolt of long-lasting nourishment, then Marine D3 is for you. This is my number one top-selling health product that I've sold over 500,000 bottles, and right now, 80% of our sales come from repeat customers. Marine D3 can flood your cells with an abundance of new antioxidants and nutrients that fights and repairs damage done to the cells during exercise, everyday living, and the natural breakdown that occurs as we age. After 15 years of research and over $39 million spent on clinical studies, a renowned biochemist has found one of the world's greatest antioxidants. It's called CNLP, hiding deep below the ocean's surface. I took CNLP, combined it with a little-known omega-3 called calamine, as well as vitamin D3, so that you can get maximum benefit all in one supplement. I'd like to give you the first bottle absolutely free. I just ask that you pay shipping and handling. At edokeefeshow.com/free bottle, I'll have a mini presentation that will share more about the supplement and why people are raving about it. Most importantly, it'll show you exactly how you can get it shipped out to you today, just for shipping and handling. This episode is brought to you by Dormant Forces Insider. If you would like monthly big business breakthroughs, insider marketing strategies that actually work, and mindset secrets of multimillionaires sent directly to your door so you can have them in your hands and you can apply them, then this is for you. Now, you can test drive my Dormant Forces Insider Silver membership for just 1 month free. If you love it, we know you'll stay with it and let it keep you in the loop of what's working inside my businesses and the other dozens and dozens of businesses that I mentor. Why would you go at it all on your own when you can use other people's experience than just replicate what works? Anyhow, right now you can test drive the membership for just $1 plus a few bucks shipping and handling by going to edokeefeshow.com/dormant forces. That's edokeefeshow.com/dormant forces.
And thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the podcast. You can find the show notes for this episode as well as all the other podcast episodes by heading on over to edokeefeshow.com. If you would, please go subscribe to the podcast on iTunes and leave a rating and review. Rating and reviews truly are the best way for you to show your appreciation for the show because they help more people find out about the podcast and decide if this is the one for them. So until next week, it's time for you to go out there, take action, and inspire the world.